Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Tim Keys, and today I wanted to talk about Novum. It is a new VST plugin from Dawson, and it allows you to implement granular synthesis. But what makes this plugin a little bit different is the fact that you not only have 6 layers of samples that you can combine to make different patches, but it will take a sample and it can split it up into 6 different tones. So you can get really, really creative with this plugin. It is definitely something I would check out. They offer you a 90-day trial, and I think it's like 120 to 130 bucks. So you can check it out, and if you like it, you can buy it. You may just find some stuff in here that may be interesting to you. A couple things I want to get out the way though. So the first thing is I had quite the experience trying to get this plugin to register the sample content and the all the patch content that comes with it. And the instructions they'll tell you on the website, they'll tell you once you download the plugin and register it to you via purchase or demoing, then you download the sample content and you open it up, and all you have to do afterwards once you open up the plugin is take that open pack of sample contents and you would drag it into the sorry, I can't think today, the VST itself once it's open. That was not the case for me. What I had to do was I had to manage the patch. I had to go to manage the patch locations. So I had to go, you know, have this thing read and talk to my stuff after I uploaded it in my hard drive. I also had to go and under here, you'll see where it says register content pack. Now, when you first pull up the DAW, if none of this stuff is talking to each other, you'll have a big sign in yellow letters that will tell you you need to register the content pack. And for you, you may get lucky and you're able to drag and drop the content pack into there. I had to go and go inside, register the content pack by essentially, once I had everything opened up, I had to go here, click on that, click on basics, select folder, and then it read everything. So it wasn't a big deal. However, it definitely wasn't as simple as what they had listed on the website, at least for me. That was not my experience, and I had to do those steps. So if you were struggling, go back to the beginning of the video where I talk about all this stuff. And yeah. Now, let's play some patches so you can decide for yourself whether or not you like this. I got a piano patch loaded up. The nice thing about this plugin is I can, if I want a piano patch, I can just type in the letters or the beginning letters, and to give me different options. I can pick. So you might have, you might sample a piano sound and whatnot, but there are just a lot of different patches to work with. One thing about granular synthesis in general is that granular synthesis, in my opinion, lends itself to a wide variety of sounds and textures, and that's just because of the process and how it makes it sounds. It takes a sample, kind of chops it up into tiny grains, if you will, and creates the delays within the grain itself, which will allow you to go back and create these huge sonic washes and palettes of your sounds and weird drums and things of that nature. You can make simple sounds and it could be straightforward, And then on the other side of granular synthesis, you can make some stuff that sounds like it's from another dimension, or however you interpret that to be. That's the cool thing about granular synthesis. Um, Out of the gate, depending on your style of music production, I'll do one more of these to check out the piano pad. Oh, maybe I can. Most of the time with granular synthesis, it definitely lends itself more to the soundscapes, the drones, the sonic washes, things of that nature, as opposed to like your traditional sounds. Generally speaking, you can go there with granular synthesis because it is sample based. You're using samples to work your sound. On the other hand, because of the delays and all that stuff that it creates in the sample, you can go a lot further with your samples and your sounds than the typical standard sine wave, sawtooth wave, and standard synthesized sounds. And that being said, it may not lend itself well to some of your traditional, I won't say traditional, if you're looking for more of a urban sound, it may not lend itself to that right off the bat. But what it can allow you to do is create some stuff. That sounds pretty good. It can be a wonderful compliment, and it cause you to push your sonic palette, go places that you wouldn't normally go. And yeah, something like this is all about experimentation. I'll do a couple more. I really like that patch. Mysterious flutes. I have to come back to that. See if flutes. So yeah, something like this, you're not necessarily going to put in, your typical urban hip hop trap music. You use something like that particular patch more for, film scoring, things of that nature. Or if you want to go just out there and try something different, some sort of ambient sounds, drones, things of that nature. Nothing wrong with that either. All right, let's do one more of these flute. Let's try the flute animals. All right, that's cool. Now, again, these patches in many cases will contain multiple layers. Turning these off will allow you to manipulate various parts of the one patch. And the cool thing about this is you can change your palette, the timbre, if you will, of the sound. So here's the timbre flower, and if you want to just pick a different part, timbre mode right here. So you can go in and you can adjust, you know, the playback, how you want this thing to sound. You have size, density, position jitter, you know, all of your typical stuff that you would find in a granular synthesizer. I'm gonna stop because I don't want to start playing. So yeah, there's a lot going on. You have your envelope section where you can simply draw over different parts of the envelope. You can adjust certain aspects there, here as well. Speed, playback speed, start position of the sound, first locator of the loop, second locator of the loop. This can be adjusted, which is cool. You can adjust the playback modes forward, backwards, ping pong, one shot cycle, re-trigger, keep position. Make the envelope be constant, or you can restore the original envelope with the layer, which is cool. All right, then you get some synthesis parameters, like, you know, you can transpose the key of the sound. I'm not gonna mess with that because I like it where it is. Reference pitch, you can adjust, you can adjust that. But this is cool because it will find out the pitch for you. Comb filtering, feedback, frequency, resonance, adding some dirt. All right. You have your effects. You can take all these off. Add reverb, cloud, shimmer, delay, phase, or chorus. In my opinion, I think that's pretty much all the basics that you need when you're doing, you know, adding effects, and especially if you're talking about granular synthesis. You know, something that would allow you to like really stretch out the sound is really cool. And in my opinion, I think these are good effects that you can work with. You have a modulation mode. I won't call it mod matrix. I haven't really used this, so I'm not going to try to cap and act like I know what I'm talking about here in terms of how it works. Modulation input, click and drag to edit, pressure, frequency. You can also go here and add different components, if you will, that you can adjust. Pressure, slide, velocity, lift, glide, PB wheel, key tracking, mod wheel, ADSR, LFO steps, and so forth. I don't know how many LFOs they allow you to use, but I'm cool with that. Now, one thing I will do real quick, I'll initialize this, and I was in here earlier. I'll throw this in. April Fools. I'm going to take that out. Let's go back. Wrong spot. I'm a mess today. Go all the way to the top. I'm going to mess with these. Let's do some of these. Let's throw one of these in. So yeah, you can use this to take your samples, any samples that you have from different instruments that you've purchased or collected over the years. You can throw that in, and you can begin to modify that, change the tone. I'm going to drop the gain on that. That's really loud. gonna make it cloudy. And see, just by doing this alone, you can really go to modifying your samples, add some new life to them, if you will. Pitch. So yeah, I can add up to 6 layers. Also, if you have, things like drum breaks, even whole loops, riffs of different songs that you've collected from crate digging, or sample collection from Splice, things of that nature. You can take whole riffs and throw them in either here or here into one of these. And doing so, if you take, a drum break or a whole riff, if you will, and put it here, then you have a whole riff that you can modify. Putting the riff in here will allow you to take that riff and have it split up into different layers, and you can begin to modify it from there. One thing I will say in my experience is when I put the whole riff in this section, if you use a song that's like really, really big, yeah, you're gonna have a lot going on. And in my opinion, I would recommend, especially if you're starting out, I would use like shorter loops. But let me show you real quick. I'll throw something in here. Let me initialize that. Go back. I'll pick a different key. All right, so let's pull up a different sample. I want to throw it in here. And as you can see, when I threw that sample in there, that was just a single shot, if you will. When I threw it in here, it took everything and split it up into 6 different components. That one tone is providing me with 6 different elements now that I can go back and modify to make a huge sound. So yeah, I definitely think this is a good plugin. Check out, use. Check out this flute. Wow. All right. Yeah. This is a pad, not a pad. Sorry, this is the patch VST that will definitely allow you to get creative with your sounds and take sample-based synthesis and sample manipulation to a different direction compared to your chopping samples and different things of that nature. What I like about this synthesizer is that you can really get creative with different tones. And for those of you who have like one-shot libraries, if you're not afraid to experiment, you can take your one-shots and then change those one-shots up using something like this to create different patches from those one-shots. It really kind of takes this audio and allows you to manipulate it on a very, very yeah, on a very powerful level. Almost like, taking an atom, breaking it down into different parts, if you will, and then changing it up and then rebuilding it, so to speak. It's really nice in that regard. I would recommend, again, as I said earlier, if you're using breakbeats, loops, and riffs, I would definitely go for like a shorter version. I wouldn't do like a anything over like a 4 bar loop, just because it might be too much to handle and work with. But for what it can do, it does stuff in a really nice way. On the other hand, I will say now, I tried to manipulate wavetables using this, and I didn't find that as easy to do as some other granular synthesizers that I worked with. Again, a wavetable, depending on its formation and how it's built, is also a sample. But using a wavetable, be it a multi-cycle wavetable or a single cycle wavetable, a lot of times you need to have a loop point first before you start working with it. Otherwise, you might hit a note and a pop, and then that's it. Um, so you need something. If you're going to take a wavetable and use it for granular synthesis, you need something with a good algorithm to handle that. On the other hand, this is a very powerful, powerful VST that allows the user to get really creative with sound manipulation, and you can do lots of stuff with this. You get a 90-day demo, so regardless of what your bag is when it comes to music production, I would check it out. So yeah, man, thank you for watching this video. I'm Tim Keys. I'm out.